हमने कहा है कि सब कुछ ही कहा.
13 at page 11 was out of quoted para 13.
Yes, we can go to the table itself.
From the
sorry, not paragraph 13, 16 and 17.
14.
Paragraph 16.
Yes, or yes, we can. Paragraph 16 and 17.
17 as the
On 15.
On comparison, yes, partner. Paragraph 12, which is quoted there in italics. From the
On
CPI
comparison of these actual genuine OMR marks with the OMR marks available in the WBSCC server shows that there is manipulation.
What do you mean by this? On the comparison of the actual genuine OMR marks available.
So he is referring to not to the OMR sheets recovered from NISA.
Recovered from data.
Yes.
Not NISA, recovered from data.
Yes.
But available with data.
Former employee of NISA who was at that relevant time an employee.
Okay, fine. Then the
That's
marks
the basis.
available on the WB.
The select list where the marks are contained. So they are trying to say that marks in some of the candidates are
About
manipulated and shown higher.
They were shown higher.
Yes. And how many are there? 952 number of candidates of 9 and 10, 907 candidates of so-and-so, 3481 of group C, 2823 of group D. So there is a complete identification by CBI.
We are aware of it. We are not.
That during the course of investigation, several emails were found to have been exchanged between the accused officials of the commission, certain private persons and officials of NISA. These emails contain lists of candidates whose OMR marks were found to be increased in the server of the commission. So the emails are there to corroborate that who are those candidates. Besides this, emails have been exchanged between staff and NISA themselves containing manipulated data of candidates. This shows complicity. The above investigation by the CBI indicates that it has found a manipulation in respect of 952 candidates for the selection process of assistant teachers. My respectful submission is that the
Okay, let's read further from 325.
Yes. These are images in the server of SSC. These facts have been effectively ruled out, an exercise of shifting the grains from the chaff. The non-cooperative stand of the SSC state and the board had added to the burden. The entire selection process is rooted in such mystery and in such layers that it is difficult to fathom the quantum of illegalities performed. That illegalities had vitiated the selection process of Mrs. NISA stands established. We have discussed the illegalities so far discovered vitiating the selection process in course of our discussions herein and will tabulate the same hereafter. The plausible inference from the materials made available on record and the conduct of the relevant parties is that the entire machinery was devised for the purpose of effectuating a scam which will be hard to discover and even if discovered difficult to prove. Appointment of Mrs. NISA, destruction of original OMR and non-availability are some of the crucial points in the fraud that came to be perpetuated. Now this finding with great respect, because after 2 years and 3 years if the petitions are filed and the rule doesn't require beyond 1 year. So there is no requirement that it should be preserved beyond that point of time. And that is taken as a basic factor of holding this fraud. As noted above, in the course of hearing all these matters, SSC, state and board have perseveringly non-cooperated so that even the possibility of trying to separate the grades could be rendered nugatory. What has been produced by the selection process is not a cereal comprising of grains and chaff capable of segregation, but a product unfit for human consumption. Fraud perpetrated is deep and pervasive. Any attempt to shift the proverbial grain from the chaff would be an unprofitable exercise prolonging the agony and would put premium on dishonesty. Now, based on CBI the report, the whole thing is proceeding and CBI has pointed out each and every candidate on what respects, on what grounds his appointment is vitiated. In the facts of the present case, blank OMR sheets have been submitted. Such candidates have been shown to have scored sufficiently higher numbers so as to be recommended for appointment.
Is that factually correct? 29.
So some people who have been appointed.
No, I'm not on that. is it factually correct that there were some blank OMR sheets and these were shown to have, the candidates were shown to have secured higher marks?
This is not correct, but what has happened is that marks have been increased.
Marks have been increased by
But you got zero.
one. The OMR sheets on correction, on checking were found to have X marks, which was say 50, but the marks which are
Marks
written
in the select list are higher.
higher. But it is not that blank OMR sheets were.
But even CBI doesn't report this.
Okay.
There's no basis for this. The exact nature of candidates fraudulently given the appointments cannot be identified, more so in the attitude of non-cooperation. There are other manipulation illegalities in the selection process which has come to light. Again, exact number of persons who have benefited out of such manipulation illegalities in the selection process cannot be identified in its entirety. Some have been identified. Identification of some is such that in respect of group D, 48% has been found to be obtained by manipulation illegalities. The percentages of manipulated illegal appointments across the other three categories are on a reducing scale compared to group D, but nonetheless sufficiently significant to question the validity of the entire process.
Just for this, just we pause here for a little minute. Now come to the order of 7/5/2024.
Yes.
The table at page 13. Paragraph 13 and 14.
Para 13 at page 11 was or the quoted para 13?
Yes, we can go to the table itself.
From the
Sorry, not paragraph 13, 16 and 17.
14.
Paragraph 16.
Yes, or yes, we can, paragraph 16 and 17.
17 as the.
On 15.
On comparison, just one minute. Paragraph 12, which is quoted there in italics.
Similar.
From the
On
CBI report.
comparison of these actual genuine OMR marks with the OMR marks available in the WBSCC server shows that there is manipulation.
One minute now, what do you mean by this? On the comparison of the actual genuine OMR marks available
He is referring to not to the OMR sheets recovered from NISA.
recovered from data.
Yes.
Not NISA, recovered from data.
Yes.
But available with NISA.
Former employee of NISA who was at that relevant time an employee.
Okay, fine. Then the marks available on the WB.
The select list where the marks are contained. So they are trying to say that marks in some of the candidates are
About
manipulated and shown higher.
they were shown higher.
Yes. And how many are there? 952 number of candidates of 9 and 10, 907 candidates of so and so, 3481 of group C, 2823 of group D. So there is a complete identification by CBI.
That's, we are aware of it. We are not,
That during the course of investigation, several emails were found to have been exchanged between the accused officials of the commission, certain private persons and officials of NISA. These emails contain lists of candidates whose OMR marks were found to be increased in the server of the commission. So the emails are there to corroborate that who are those candidates. Besides this, emails have been exchanged between staff and NISA themselves containing manipulated data of candidates. This shows complicity. The above investigation by the CBI indicates that it has found a manipulation in respect of 952 candidates for the selection process of assistant teachers for class 9 and 10. In the case of 907 candidates for class 11, 12, 3481 candidates for group C and 2823 candidates for group D. Apart from the above report of CBI, the impugned judgment of the High Court contained in para 240 a reference to the fact that SSC had submitted a statistical report of the 4 selection processes tabulating the alleged irregularities. The tabulation is produced below for the convenience of reference. So, 2 authorities both have it and they have made the basis.
that's done. The figures given in this table,
Yes, for
as per the
assistant teacher 9 and 10.
as per the SSC itself, where there were irregularities committed, are different from the table given by the CBI.
So CBI found
One
more.
minute, 1 minute. So the CBI says is where OMR sheets available, OMR marks available in the OMR sheets, vis-a-vis the marks which were available on the WBSCSS server. The manipulation was in 95752 candidates,
Yes.
907 candidates, 3481 candidates,
Yes.
and 2823. And if we turn to the list which is given by the SSC, where they say that there were irregularities noticed in tabulation,
Yes.
there is a OMR issue in A8. Okay. Then there is 771, 783 and 1741, whereas the details given in the CBI are much higher.
But there are small differences, we have reconciled it subsequent.
They
More or less similar will come if all the three.
No, that table doesn't tally. This one which are found by the CBI, they don't tally with the OMR issue. Then there is a rank jumping, and then there is alleged irregularity. What do you mean by alleged irregularity?
That's the sum. OMR plus rank jumping.
That's the sum total of the two?
Yes.
Extra is
Yes,
what?
excess
It's the
effort.
same.
Okay, fine. And then there is the case where additional or excess appointments have been made,
Yes.
Yes.
irrespective of the marks obtained.
Who are beyond the list.
Beyond.
So what I am trying to respectfully submit below that the two authorities have been able to identify.
Now, the factual situation as it is emerging is this. SSC did not maintain the mirror image. The original OMR sheets are not available. The only evidence with regard to the OMR sheets which are available is in form of scanned OMR sheets which was done by data and then given to NASA. There is evidence to show that the marking or the marks obtained as per the scanned image of the available data is different from the marks which were entered in the server of the West Bengal Civil Services. There is also, as far as appointment of NASA is concerned, there are irregularities stated. The scanning itself, the process followed, there are irregularities stated. Because data did the scanning purportedly in the office of the SSC, but we don't even know whether the scanned images which were done by data, there are the actual scanned images which were recovered in the form of the hard disk. We don't, 1 minute please. We don't even have that because 65B certificate will not say so and will not be able to authenticate. 1 minute please. Because then you have to need evidence to also show that the hard disks which were recovered by the CBI were the actual hard disks which were installed in the machines of the scanners.
Yes, that is established.
That is going to be difficult. That's going to be very difficult for you to establish. Number two, the metadata in then those scanners will have to be examined to find out whether there was any change in those. Because metadata will give you the date on which it was scanned and uploaded.
The CBI has done this.
One minute, we'll go from the CBI, we'll ask the CBI whether they have done that, we'll know exactly.
They have done extensive.
Now, please look at these are the issues which the High Court failed. From record, we cannot now segregate tainted from the untainted cases. meet all these arguments which have been addressed in your own way, and other petitioners can also meet that argument in their own way. We will now like you to hear you on that, and then on the second part with regard to the CBI.
So, the record which is with.
It's no clear finding that.
In the Supreme Court, January.
Clarification we require. The details of all OMR sheets were found. Details of all OMR sheets of the candidates who had
Appeared
were found in the server, or there was some missing.
So I think
There seems to be a condition that reasonably everybody to inspect. Please hear what I have to say that you answer. There's no finding anywhere in the judgment that these three hard disks which were recovered contain the OMR data of all the candidates who had applied and appeared for all four categories of posts. They did contain, it just three hard disks contain the entire data. Yes. There's no finding available anywhere. Just to satisfy the court's
The CBI also doesn't say so.
Article 65B certificate. That the Honorable Court directly says, Pankaj Bansal from whose custody these three disks are obtained, says all data including the scanned images of all.
Where is saying so is not sufficient. Where is the comparison with your OMR evaluation marks data, which is at least available still with you?
Because our server.
On that basis, do you say anywhere that entire data is available? You don't say so anywhere.
Very small discrepancies, there are nothing.
We will not say. And one more thing which has been mentioned in the High Court judgment, that there was some blank OMR sheets.
Yes, fact.
Is that correct?
Yes.
and regard.
Was there some blank OMR
Report doesn't, CBI doesn't say that.
That is the affidavit of SSC itself, I show.
And there is a line also.
So these are the issues, we have to now meet those issues.
No, but with respect.
Rather not issues, rather these are facts which are.
Yes.
I had an important aspect, may I clarify, just for.
Let them finish, then you will have it.
Give you best.
So, in greater detail, this aspect will be dealt with by the commission, but I am not submitting on a narrow footing, namely that extensive inquiry had been done, one by Justice Bag's. Justice Bag's report was received.
When was that report received?
In April 22.
The report was received after the report said there were irregularities?
Yes, they also found some irregularities, but not as extensive as the CBI report. It was on a narrower. Based on which 269 appointments have been invalidated, which then came up in the interim stage to this court. Your Lordship stayed the.
So they found there were irregularities committed. So in order to deal with that situation,
So,
instead of weeding out the persons who had been appointed illegally, you said, okay, create supernumerary posts.
for appointing the
Wait, Mr. Devedi, tell me one thing. If you find irregularities committed, will you not throw them out first?
not for them,
But 1 minute.
for waitlisting.
1 minute. The moment you create supernumerary posts, you are ensuring that the persons who have tainted and wrong, who should not have been appointed, their appointment should continue.
No. The order specifically says for appointment from the waitlisted candidate.
Correct? Well, the reason is this, that you don't want to throw out the tainted candidates.
No, sir. That is not up to us because High Court says they have to be non-ordinary. We can't retain them.
Okay.
We can't retain them, and we specifically said that this is subject to orders of the High Court. And we did not appoint anybody. Equally, this order was challenged in some other petition which is still pending in the High Court, where an interim order was granted saying that order. And in these batch of writ.
Last one, let's hear the others, we'll hear you last one, or second one. We'll hear you on the line on that aspect. We're not closing your right to be heard. We'll hear you on the line.
I'll keep it.
Because really speaking, that's the second part of the argument. The first part is.
So on this part,
We'll hear you, but in the.
yes, on the segregation aspect, I'm working on a narrow ground, namely that CBI was appointed to hold an extensive exercise pursuant to which
So, 88.
Go ahead. Let me have it. Put one new is there. Put one new. That is the first step to the next. And this is the first one.
kindly look at two paragraphs, 229 and 230 of the High Court judgment. The point which I am making is that CBI has made an inquiry, looked into the OMR sheets, discrepancies, how many are beyond the select list. The Assistant Secretary of SSC has submitted a report in the form of an affidavit in response to the order dated 13th of January 2023, where the number of vacancies declared in Group D posts were tabulated. Number of candidates, I'm so sorry. The number of candidates empaneled and the number of waitlisted candidates were also stated. Significantly, it has been stated that manipulated OMR sheets supplied to SSC by CBI were 2819. Another affidavit in SSC has stated that NYASA was an agency appointed by SSC for the purpose of assessing scanning with regard to the third regional lens test 2016 for appointment of Group D staff after receiving the OMR sheet and in compliance with the orders of the court. SSC had checked the OMR sheets and other data supplied by CBI in the form of hard disks, whereupon it appeared that the marks of 2819 OMR sheets were lesser than the marks of the candidates as were kept in the server of the SSC. Out of 2823 candidates in which marks have been manipulated, enhanced 1911 candidates has been wrongly recommended. Then 231 similarly was. So on each aspect on a comparison, a specified number of candidates identified was pointed out, the number was pointed out, and that has been found in the tabulation. So both CBI and the SSC was, after getting the OMR sheets, have come out with figures, exact figures. And that's how at page 240 is the table which finds mention in the entry box.
Okay.
All that they say in 242 is that SSC did not discount the fact that possibilities of further illegalities exist. Now nobody can discount that, but the point is that after extensive inquiry, if specified number of candidates identified have been mentioned, then why should we throw out 25,000 people against whom there is nothing? Keeping in mind that the petitions have been filed after 2 years and 3 years.
Is it close to after? It's to 8 But it's a that. Before this is from the box. You're only creating create. Since you're going to use children.
Number 306.
Yes. CBI in its reports have detailed how Mr. Pankaj Bansal, along with persons in the control and management of Mrs. Naisa, kept the mirror images of OMR sheets and were providing data as called for from time to time by SSC. SSC, in fact, had responded to Right to Information Act applications providing OMR sheets to individual RTI applicants claiming that such data was in its database. Affidavits filed by writ petitioners have borne out that such facts. SSC had provided Anindita Dhara writ petitioner a copy of OMR sheet in January. Sorry?
You don't get interrupted. I really get this background. What is being clarified in 306 is the SSC had taken the stand that they had the mirror images with them in the affidavits which were filed and when the OMR sheets were supplied. It says the affidavits filed by the page 24 also.
Sorry, brother?
In January 24 also.
Yes.
That the database was stored in SSC database. Was that it was supplied with a sheet of so from the SSC from its database. And again from its database. So if they were giving data, the OMR sheets from their database, where did their database of mirror image go?
That's not our affidavit.
Yeah.
And you come to this, that's the one finding, and then you can come to page 305, which is the report, which quotes from the report. Let's read that part also.
I can place the whole of 306.
These are your filed affidavits filed by the SSC, and the SSC in the response is the response to the Right to Information Act. Said that the worm sheets to individual claiming that data was in its database. That's the finding recorded. The SSC had in the RTI application said that the OMR sheets copies are available in its database. And the affidavits filed with them again say that the OMR sheets are being given are from their database. Is now the stand taken by the SSC is they don't have any database of the OMR sheets.
So my learned friend will explain this, brother.
Okay, now come to page 245, 305.
Para 305. CBI has filed several reports in these proceedings. In its report dated 5th February 2024, filed in compliance with the order dated 24th January 2024, passed by us. It has stated as follows, that during investigation it was revealed that the West Bengal Central School Service Commission, hereinafter referred to as Commission, had awarded a work order to Mrs. Naisa Communication Private Limited for scanning and evaluation of OMR answer sheets pertaining to the selection tests of Group D, Group C and teachers. Investigation has established that Shri Puneet Kumar was the then director and Niladri Prasad was then vice president of the said NISA during relevant period. It has been established during investigation that Shri Niladri Prasad was in charge of operations in respect of recruitment examinations conducted by the Selection Commission and frequently visited the office of the Commission to attend the actual operation part. and did the requisite liaison on behalf of agency for necessary compliance of instructions given by Commission. Shri Puneet Kumar, being director, mainly looked after the financial affairs of the agency and represented it on record. Investigation established that scanning of OMR sheets was undertaken by said NISA at the Commission office at Acharya Sadan under direct supervision of Shri Niladri Das and in presence of the Commission officials. It has been further established that Mrs. NISA Communication Private Limited had further given work order with respect to scanning and the original OMR to Messrs. Data Scan Tech Solutions Dhara, who remained present on the premises of the Commission for the scanning work. After completion of scanning, the processed data in the form of scanned image of OMR, scanned data, etc. were handed over by Data Scan Tech Solutions to NISA, who took the same to their offices located at Noida in digital form, leaving the original hard copies of OMR sheets in the office of the Commission, handed over the answering keys in respect of all subjects to NISA for evaluation. That by scanning.
Yes.
So then the next two paragraphs they are just describing how they proceeded to recover the data. That by scanning the original OMR sheets by Messrs. Data Scan Tech Solutions on behalf of NISA, files were generated containing scan number so and so. That a sample of the DAT file generated during scanning of the OMR sheet is cited as an example below. Responses of candidates in the OMR is appearing as response code in alphabets while it indicates end of one OMR sheet. That two such DAT files were generated since scanning is done twice to avoid technical error. Thereafter, a final DAT file is prepared which is called a clean data file. After receiving the answer keys from the Commission, the same is compared with the final data and a DBF file is generated having the score of the candidates. That during investigation, server database of the Commission was seized by the Central Bureau of Investigation containing all the data pertaining to selection tests of Group A, Group C and assisting teachers. That during investigation of the case, 3 hard disks were recovered on 15th and 16th September 22 from the residence of Pankaj Bansal, ex-employee of Swenso. The certificates of Shri Pankaj Bansal were obtained in triplicate with regard to genuineness of the data contained. That during investigation, data files contained scanned OMR sheets, DAT files, etc. pertaining to aforesaid Commission recruitment matters were also seized from Data Scan Tech. During investigation, the hash values of the data files of Scantech were matched with the hash value of corresponding files recovered from the hard disk seized from Pankaj Bansal and was found to be matching, which establishes that the data contained in the 3 hard disks recovered from persons were not contaminated. This is important. That a similar exercise of matching the data available on the hard disk of Pankaj Bansal with the data seized from the Commission was done during the course of investigation, and it was found that there were mismatch between the two in as much as the written marks awarded to candidates as available on the server of the Commission had been increased to qualify undeserving candidates. This mismatch establishes that manipulation in marks of written examination in the case of many candidates was resorted to and such candidates were identified. The comparison of these actual genuine OMR marks with the OMR marks available in the server shows that there is manipulation in 952 numbers of candidates, 907 and these figures you lordships have seen. That during the course of investigation, several emails were found to have been exchanged between the accused officials of the Commission, certain private persons and officials of NISA. These emails contained list of candidates whose OMR marks were found to be increased in the server of the Commission. Besides, this email have been exchanged between the staff of NISA themselves containing manipulated data of candidates. This shows complicity of officials of NISA in this conspiracy. That during investigation, it emerged that during 2019, Shri Niladri Prasad left NISA and started his own business in name and style of ND Info Systems, Noida. and was engaged in the business of data processing in line of Mrs. NISA. The said Diladi Prasad Post, Pankaj Bansal, Kuldeep Singh, Anoy Saha, Muzammil Hussain and others support staff from NISA. It has emerged from investigation that before leaving NISA, Niladil Prasad and his staff retained all the data pertaining to recruitment examinations, including data group C, so-and-so, and teachers with them. Even after leaving NISA, Niladil Prasad, Pankaj Bansal and Muzammil Hussain kept providing assistance to Commission in matters of RTI on the basis of data of NISA, which was manipulated and also hosted in the Commission server. This also establishes that Paz, Bansal and Hussain who were involved in the entire scam, it was in their knowledge. The data has been manipulated and therefore they continue to extend assistance solely to avoid detection. That if there would have been no manipulation, the scanned images of OMRs available with Commission were sufficient to respond to RTI queries. Investigation revealed that Commission has destroyed the original MR sheets and the scanned images of original MR sheets in the year 2019.
This is important. This says the Commission destroyed the original images, the original MRs and scanned images of OMR sheets in the year 2019. So the Commission had made scanned images of the OMR sheets.
Yes. And
But there is no requirement to be retained for all time.
That's something separate. I'm not on that. We are not on that. But there were scanned images of the OMR sheets which they had retained.
Yes, the original OMR sheets and both were there notes according to this report.
Leads to an inference that
Which again leads to an inference that the same were destroyed to keep the matter under wraps. That investigation establishes that as a reward for doing aforesaid manipulation in the OMR score, Messrs. NDISPL of Niladai was provided work for recruitment of teachers in upper primary conducted by Commission. Apart from this, many other recruitment works are also assigned to Niladai Das by the government of Bengal. Various lists of candidates related to upper primary were communicated to Niladai Das in Sena. Sharmila Mitra were found in the email of Niladai Das, which shows his criminal conduct. The result of comparison of these records collected from data Scantech with that of hard disk seized from Pankaj Bansal. A. As discussed in the preceding paragraphs, the hard disk recovered contains the marks of written examination, typing tests, etc. This marks, when compared with marks available in Commission server, resulted in the identification of candidates whose marks of written examination, typing tests were manipulated. Messrs. Data Scantex made the initial scanned images. These scanned images were given to NISA. Pankaj Bansal retained a copy of the scanned images. But in connection with candidates of class 9 and 10, 11, 12, scanned images of OMR sheets as collected from Data Scantex solutions pertaining to the alleged candidates whose OMR sheets were found manipulated were matched with the scanned image.
this also shows that there was OMR marks were found manipulated were matched with the scanned images available on the hard disk and the same were found to be identical.
Yes.
So 1 minute. What do you mean by this? The contention of the candidate so-and-so, the scanned images was as collected from so-and-so pertain to alleged candidates whose OMR sheets were found manipulated were matched with the scanned images of.
So Data Scantech and the hard disk of Bansal,
Okay.
both are matching.
there is only one.
The response string of the candidates.
The response string of candidates pertaining to 9, 10, 11, 12 as recovered from Data Scantech matches with the response string available in the hard disk seized from Pankaj Bansal. On the basis of these response strings, the actual genuine OMR marks of 9, 10 were determined. A comparison of these actual genuine marks with the OMR available in the Commission server shows that there is manipulation in 952 numbers of candidates of 910 and 907 candidates of so-and-so. The response string of candidates pertaining to Group C, Group D as recovered from Messrs. Data Scantech solutions matches with the response string available in the hard disk seized from Pankaj Bansal. On the basis of these responsive strings, the actual genuine OMR marks of Group C and Group D
for the corrected answer. The suggested corrected answer. That's a response string.
The marks as they
Is that correct? Or is that something else?
What is it? I should know. So the answers sheet which are there in the scan and these are both matching.
Okay.
The key answer.
The key answer, the correct key answer is the response string. If the response string is the key answer, correct key answer.
In the individual answer,
response string, it may not be 100% correct. I asked my briefing counsel yesterday, we are private candidates. When you answer, they put a line like this to your thoughts in the OMR sheets. For example, AB.
Okay, they put that line. So that nobody can change it.
That response string is then fed into some evaluation software. And that is what a response string, as explained to me.
No, but the response string is not put by the candidate or is put by the...
No, not by candidates. Not by candidates. That is not by candidate, it is done at some process of evaluation.
That's a evaluation, that's a computer AI generated.
What they have explained to me.
Okay.
The board has, but I asked them the same thing yesterday, what is the response string? And that other thing which was matched, that data frequency, is they explained to me that every file which we read has a particular frequency. And so, hash value, that every file has a particular hash value,
Not frequency.
So, no, hash value. So, because, so that somehow they, so, and I try to put it together on my turn.
Yes. Yes, please.
Then F, that by investigation established that the genuineness of data of hard disk seized from Pankaj Bansal, that in compliance with the solemn order dated so and so, this 3 hard disks in original seized from the residence of Pankaj Bansal along with certificate under section 65B of Indian Evidence Act obtained from Pankaj Bansal are being submitted before this court. The 3 hard disks are in sealed condition. The certificate of so-and-so is in original is obtained. The Honorable Division Bench at High Court directed CBI on 2024-1 for production of the above mentioned 3 original hard disks seized from Bansal, and in compliance with the direction, all the 3 hard disks were returned back by PFSL Hyderabad in sealed condition and are now being produced with this report. That the present status of all the above mentioned 4 recruitment cases is disposed of from investigation.
Okay, now, that's all.
Therefore, that's what I'm trying to submit based on the CBI report is.
We have understood. Anybody else will not, who else will like to start?
That other point I'm reserving, brothers, in case.